Everyone, welcome to the channel Pharma Focus. I hope you guys are doing really great. I'm back with part 2 of the video about the interview questions that are important for freshers who want to get a role in PV. So I will be discussing some of the questions in this video. Alright, so we have the very first question here, which is when do you consider an event to be serious? So an adverse event is considered serious if it meets one or more of the following criteria that are listed below. It can include death, or if it is life-threatening, if it requires inpatient hospitalization or prolongation of existing hospitalization, results in persistent or significant disability or incapacity, results in congenital anomaly, birth defect, or is otherwise medically significant. That is, it does not meet the preceding criteria but is considered serious because of the treatment or intervention that would be required to prevent one of the preceding criteria. And apart from that, there is an important medical events IME list, which is particularly given by European Union EMA, and all the events in those in that Excel is considered to be serious. We have the next question here, which is what are unsolicited or spontaneous reports? So when we look at this word spontaneous, it is something that is done voluntarily. And therefore, these are the kind of ICSRs of suspected adverse events that are reported voluntarily and they're not collected as a part of an organized study or active data collection system. So any kind of safety report that is not requested, solicited, or systematically collected is considered to be as the spontaneous report. So examples include a physician reports nausea and dizziness in a patient taking a newly marketed antihypertensive. Since there is no organized system or no data collection system involved here, the physician has voluntarily by himself or herself reported about nausea and dizziness for a patient who was taking a newly marketed antihypertensive. Therefore, this is going to be considered as the spontaneous report. Another example is a patient emails a pharmaceutical company about the hair loss after starting a medication. So again, the patient is voluntarily doing it by their own will. Next question is what are solicited and non-spontaneous reports? So solicited or non-spontaneous reports are the ICSRs that are actively collected through an organized systematic data collection programs rather than being reported voluntarily. So this is completely opposite to the unsolicited ones that we just discussed. And any safety report that is obtained through the planned or organized activity, then it is considered as solicited. So examples are adverse events collected during a phase 3 clinical trial. So there are various phases in a clinical trial, and particularly in phase 3, we look at the adverse events that could be caused by this by the drug, and therefore since this is an organized system of collecting the adverse event data, safety data, therefore this comes under the example of solicited reports. ADRs reported through patient follow-up calls in a PSP. So patient follow-up calls in patient support programs, this is the another kind of example for the solicited reports. And there are many other interventional studies, non-interventional studies which can come under solicited reports. We have the next question. What is day zero in pharmacovigilance? So this is one of very important questions, I would say. So you must know about this. So day zero is the first calendar date on which any representative of an organization becomes aware of a case containing the minimum essential elements required for expedited reporting. So when we talk about the minimum essential elements, we talk about the four criteria that are to be considered for the case to be valid. So day zero is particularly the date when anyone acting on the behalf of company receives all of the information that makes a case valid. And day zero is also known as clock start date. If we talk about this day zero, then it is counted when anyone acting on the behalf of the company receives the information, which may include the company employees, third party vendors, contract research organizations, or business partners or license holders. So, collectively, what it means is when any of the representative of any particular organization, he or she becomes aware of a valid case, that is a case which contains the minimum essential elements. So that is what day zero is. And again, the minimum essential elements, a case is considered valid on day zero if it includes all the elements that are required, that is identifiable patient, reporter, suspected medicinal product, and suspected adverse event. So once all these four elements they are present, day zero is triggered, it is recorded as day zero for that particular case. All right, so we have the next question here, which is what is SUSAR? So, a suspected unexpected serious adverse reaction report is SUSAR. Now, SUSAR is any kind of untoward or unintended response to a study drug which is not listed to the in the applicable product information. If I bifurcate all the elements that are present in this SUSAR, the very first one is suspected, which refers to that there is a reasonable possibility that the study drug caused the event, and there is no need to prove the causality as it is only suspected. If we talk about the second point, it is unexpected. The nature, severity, or frequency of the reaction is not consistent with the applicable product information, such as investigator brochure, protocol, or SMPC package insert. So, investigator brochure or SMPC or package insert, these are the kind of regulated documents that provide essential safety and efficacy data for the investigational and marketed products. If I talk about investigator brochure, then it is a kind of a regulated comprehensive document which is for investigational products. And if we talk about SMPC, then SMPC is required for approval and marketing of products in European Union. So SMPC works for European Union. And if I talk about package insert, then it is used in US and for the approved and the marketed products. So ultimately the overall goal of these documents is to check the nature, severity, or frequency of reaction. If it is not inconsistency with something that is listed in the applicable product information, then it is termed as unexpected. However, if it had been the scenario that the nature, severity, or frequency of the reaction, it is inconsistency, is consistent with the applicable product information, which can be any of them, then the adverse event reported is said to be the expected one. Another point that comes under this is the suspected unexpected serious adverse reaction we are talking about. So third point is serious. Again, if they even meet at least one of the criteria that we discussed in the beginning itself. So if it results in death, if it is life threatening, if it requires hospitalization or prolongation of existing hospitalization, if it requires it results in persistent or significant disability or incapacity, or if it is a congenital anomaly or a birth defect. So it may also include some other medically important conditions as well. So we have some kind of reporting timelines for SUSAR cases. That is the next question. So very first question is, very first point is fatal or life-threatening SUSAR. So they have to be reported within 7 calendar days. And another is the timelines about it, which you can maybe if you can remember, then you can keep that in your mind. So initial report as soon as possible, but no later than day 7, and follow-up information within 8 additional calendar days. All other serious SUSARs, example hospitalization, disability, congenital anomaly, they have a reporting timeline within 15 calendar days, and it includes all the non-fatal, non-life-threatening SUSARs. Okay, so one of the very important questions which is usually asked during the interviews is name some regulatory bodies that you are aware about, and this can include so many of the regulatory bodies all over the world. There are many, but you can keep in your mind some of them. So I've listed few of them here, which is for USA it is US FDA, for UK it is MHRA, for Canada, it's Health Canada, and under that we have Marketed Health Product Directorate, Canada Vigilance Program, and Japan we have Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare. Australia we have Therapeutic Goods Administration. India we have Central Drug Standard Control Organization, and under this we have PVPI, that is the Pharmacovigilance Program of India. So that brings me to the end of this video. If you're watching till now, I would request, if you know any of the regulatory body, then do comment down about that. I hope you like the video. I'll be coming with the further parts of another question series, a continued one for freshers, which can help you prepare good for the interviews if you want to pursue a career in pharmacovigilance. I hope you guys like the video. Do give it a thumbs up and subscribe the channel, and keep watching, keep growing. Thank you.